Good day, students. Today we will have another revision lesson for our social studies grade 2. This would be in our series of revision lessons. This would be our fourth revision lesson as we near the end of the school academic year for grade 2. With that said, for this open book test revision lesson, you will be required to have your social studies book with you because you're going to have to do some reading to complete the test. The teacher, me, I will ask you a question, which in turn you will look up the answers and give it to me from your student books, and then the questions will be set and answers will be given on the pages provided for you, which would be on another slideshow with all the answer keys. So with that said, we are going to start, and today we are going to have a specific look at the Egyptians, looking at the pharaohs and how they use the Nile River, and having a quick look at the pyramids as well. So I'm going to read page 83 and 84 because that is where we will be in our student book. So if you page to page 83 and 84, I will read them, and that is where we will find the answers of our open book test for revision today. Starting off, using the Egyptians. Also during the Bronze Age, great Egyptian civilization developed on the banks of the Nile River. Ancient Egyptians believed that Egypt was the gift of the Nile River. In summer each year, the river flooded. When the water went down, a fine layer of silt was left behind. This made the soil very fertile for farming. The Egyptians irrigated the land by channeling the water from the river to their fields. And there you can see that they are using getting the water from the river and using it to cultivate their crops. Going on to page 84, this is also the other page we will find the answers for the open book revision test. The pharaohs and the pyramids. Ancient Egypt was ruled by kings known as pharaohs. The pharaohs ruled for more than 3,500 years. And then Egypt was a difficult empire to attack because it was surrounded by desert. And then there is Ramses, the second of the Egyptian pharaohs, and then King Tutankhamun. His mask of his tomb was solid gold. The Egyptians buried their pharaohs in huge tombs called pyramids, and there's another picture of a pyramid as well. Here's another picture of how the pyramids would be built. So with that said, we are going on to, and we can actually read this page on page 85. The largest pyramid is the Great Pyramid of Giza, built for Pharaoh Khufu. It took thousands of workers many years to build it. It was built from huge blocks of stone. The blocks were brought by boats along the Nile River, and pyramids were built near the Nile. So that is what that entails in terms of the Egyptians today that we need to know. We are going straight into our revision lesson and the questions. So we're going to go through the questions first. So we are looking at question 1. We'll find on page 83, during which age did the great Egyptians civilization develop? Going on to question number 2, we will also find on page 83, choose the correct answer in the brackets. Style or silt made the soil very fertile for planting. Question number 3, found on page 84. Who were the rulers of ancient Egypt? Question number 4 on page 84. The Egyptians buried their pharaohs in huge tombs called what? There's a picture of it. What do we call those? Question 5. On page 85, the largest pyramid is the Great Pyramid of where? And where you can also see gives you a clue there on page 85. Another one on page 85, question 6. What did the Egyptians use to build the pyramids with? Right, so that is also answer you can find on page 85. Another question, question 7 on page 85. Name the most important river in Egypt that was used to ferry large blocks of stone, and that is a very easy answer to find because it was a famous river that they used. Going on to the answer keys. Our answer keys looks as follows. So our question one is, during which age did the great Egyptian civilization develop? It is the Bronze Age. Where did I find this? On page 83. You will see it here on the right-hand side. also during the Bronze Age. That is where we would find it in the first line. Going on to question number 2. Question number 2's answer. Choose the correct answer in the bracket. Silt made the soil very fertile for planting, and silt is like a muddy texture of soil that holds a lot of nutrients in the ground, and that is also on page 83. So here we see that in the summer each year the river flooded. When the water went down, a fine layer of silt was left behind, and that is where we would find it in the sixth line in that paragraph. Going on to question number 3 in the answer key. Question number 3 we'll find on page 84. Who were the rulers of ancient Egypt? Pharaohs were the rulers. That question as answer we will find on page 84 as we go to the next page. And here we go, the pharaohs and the pyramids. Ancient Egypt was ruled by kings known as pharaohs. That's the question. That's the answer we were looking for that question. Going on to question 4 on page 84. The Egyptians buried their pharaohs in huge tombs called pyramids. And there we see the pyramid, triangular shaped type structure that they built there. And that's very easy to find also on page 84. So there it goes. The Egyptians was difficult to attack because they were in the desert. And here the Egyptians buried the pharaohs in huge tombs called pyramids. That is the answer there for question number 4 on page 84. Going on to question number 5. The largest pyramid is the Great Pyramid of Giza. Giza is the pyramid's name. That was the biggest pyramid of all the pyramids that we found. That is on page 85. The largest pyramid is the Great Pyramid of Giza. That's the answer that we found there. Going on to question number 6. What did the Egyptians use to build the pyramids with? Huge blocks of stone. That is very easy to find, and we can still find it then if you go and take a tour and take a visit to Egypt, you will find it. So here we say that it was built in the third line. It was built from huge blocks of stone. That's the answer we have for question number 5. Going on to our last question, our final question, is question number 7, is name the most important river in Egypt that was used to ferry the large blocks of stone, and we will obviously find that the answer, Nile River, on page 85, which is our last fact that we need. The blocks were brought by boat along the Nile River, which was very important, not only, as we know, not only for building, not only for transport, but also for cultivating crops. So this is then the summary lesson and revision lesson for Social Studies Grade 2 for today. Thank you.